Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Pulse, and welcome back. This is game number 2 between our our 6 o'clock position yellow Zerg player Ignorance and our 12 o'clock player teal light blue player Terran player CubePayAso. Now these two guys played very well in game number 1. I was really impressed. Cube came out with some predominantly marine and tank heavy, fully upgraded siege tanks. Are just the most evil thing in this entire game, in my opinion. And a fully upgraded siege line is just evil. It really is absolutely evil against any player. I can't stand it. I think I'd rather commit suicide, to be honest. I'm no Chuck Norris, but I can't do that. There's no way through it. You've got to lose some units. You've got to catch them out of guard. You've got to catch them unsieged and then strike. But unfortunately, Ignorance did not have the army count to deal with it. He did come out with some very early 5 bases right around the outskirts. A very early 5 base, which could have put him in a bit of an economical backlog, so to speak. And used a lot of his resources, a lot of his minerals, and therefore did not have a huge amount to spend on his army or his units when he needed it, because those expansions were very early. And by the looks of it, he's doing the same again. Nevertheless, this is very standard play. Forgive my ignorance. This is very standard play from a Zerg player. They have to be, as I mentioned in the first game, they have to be 1 base above the player they're playing, if you know what I mean, as long as it's not Zerg. But they have to be kind of 1 base above either a Terran or a Protoss player, one expansion above them, to be kind of level pegging in terms of economical advantage. So this is very standard, forgive my ignorance. But yeah, game 1 was fantastic. We're coming out with a spawning pool even, right, straight away. So very standard play. Expansion first, then spawning pool, then we go gas, 4 Zerglings, and then we just have a little scout about, and then we decide what we're going to do from there. That's a very standard play from a Zerg player, I would assume. Over here, Mr. Cube coming out with the same, the same build that he did the first game, which was barracks with tech lab and a factory. But we've got a reactor over here, so no, yes, sorry, that did happen the first game. Then he swapped them over, and then we saw some Hellions come down, but unfortunately that did not work. But by the looks of it, he's going to try again, coming out with an early command center again. Ignorance tried to steal that gas, but I think it was unwarranted, as by the looks of it, Cube doesn't really need it at the moment. Let's have a look. Yes, he's doing exactly the same thing. Is he going to pump out Hellions? Let's have a look. He can only do that, so yeah, he's going to pump out some Hellions. Send them. Where's he rallying them? To this point here. Get some map control. Mr. Overlord over here, possibly for some secondary sacrificial scouting a bit later on in the game. But at the moment, he's walled himself in. Denied scouting here. Coming out with another expansion. Another early one, so it's very standard, very, very similar to the previous game. In fact, almost identical. Over here, Mr. Ignorance, again with a spine crawler, trying to deny those Hellions, because I think he's anticipated it this time. 2 Zerglings, 3 Zerglings, possibly a 4, no, just 3, well, there must be a 4th, there he is. 4 Zerglings. He's doing the same wall-in again that he did last time, which proved, in my opinion, very effective. So he's got 1 spine crawler either side of the base, as well as the wall-in with this evolution chamber, and the queen as well. 2 queens down here. So completely denying those Hellions for a second time. And I think Cube is very annoyed at that. Very annoyed indeed. So yes, those Hellions have been denied. Nevertheless, they can harass the scouting Zerglings of Ignorance. He looks very supply blocked at the moment. Where's that come from? Has an Overlord been shot? Yes, the sacrificial Overlord over here that's probably trundled into the base. See what's going on, has been destroyed. we're coming out with a second expansion rather, from Cube. Now, I think this is earlier than the previous game. Nevertheless, he is coming out with it, an orbital command. Probably plonk it over here. We should be scouted by this Zergling at some point. But at the moment, it's predominantly racks and factory. No upgrades yet. Grabbing the second refinery, third refinery. Defending his bases. Very standard, very turtle-like play from Cube, as most Terran players do that. If Ignorance had chosen to do one base play, I think that would have been a real ballbuster for Cube, and he may have had trouble dealing with that, but he hasn't, so that's okay. I just thought I'd mention that. Now, what we're doing over here, Ignorance is coming out with a second evolution chamber, so we're going for the double upgrades again. Cube, I think they were pretty much level pegging in terms of upgrades last time, I think. Excuse me. I think they were pretty level pegging. They both had two upgrade bases, if we'll call them that, engineering bay and evolution chamber. They both had two upgrade stations, so they both utilised them. Cube came out with 3-1 rather for infantry, and I think 3 attack for his tanks as well, which is just really evil. So we're dropping that second expansion now. Hopefully saturate that as these two are. It should come out with another reactor sometime soon. We are seeing those upgrades very early on. He's gone for the siege tech rather. Level 1 upgrades for weapons for his marines, coming out with marines, and of course combat shield. Another orbital command over here. These tanks cannot siege at the moment, and these Zerglings may cause a little bit of trouble, but these Hellions could, and the marines here could deny that completely. And here we go. These trying to get a full surround, but deciding, right, okay, there's a lot of marines there. I may not be able to do anything. I think I should pull back and attack at a later date. Let's move this Hellion up here. It's probably going to get taken out in a second. Here we go, full surround. There we go, taken out. Done a little bit of damage, but no kills, unfortunately. So constant Hellions. Sorry, forget me. I can't speak today. Constant Zerglings. Predominantly just Zerglings at the moment. Very similar to the last game. Cube's coming out with pretty much the 1-1-1 build in terms of starting. 1 factory, 1 barracks, 1 starport. And then he's coming out with an armory, 2 engineering bays, and another barracks. So it's very similar to the previous game. He's sieging up his tanks, spreading them out completely, as you could see just there, spreading them all over his bases, so he can see exactly what's going on. And they've got a huge range, as you can see. One of the big advantages with a siege tank is their range, and of course their damage, which is just evil. So he's spreading them out over his base, so he can kind of see exactly what's going on, and of course do as much damage as humanly possible. Lots of Zerglings over here, getting a bit of map control. Good creep spread this time. Very good creep spread. At about the 10-minute mark, it was pretty much just going outside of his base last game. This game, 12-minute mark, it's very good, going right into the centre part of the map here. We are on Metalopolis, good old Metalopolis. I should have mentioned that earlier. Coming out with the 3rd expansion here for Ignorance. We've got 1 here, no gas, 1 here, 2 gas, fully saturated, and again droning it very hard, 7 drones. We have dropped a Spire, so we are coming out with some Mutalisks over here with Ignorance. Again, this is very much a mirror of last game. A lot of players like to do that. If it works, why not just do it again, which I think is Cube's philosophy by the looks of things. He's coming out with lots of tanks, Stimpack research. He's going for his vehicle 1 upgrades, his weapons upgrade again, and his armor upgrades again, but no transition this time. So he's pretty much mirroring what he did last time. Siege tank, marines, possibly a couple of Thors to deal with this Mutalisk harassment. There are quite a lot of Mutalisks this time. There's 8, 9, 10, 11 Mutalisks this time. There weren't that many last time. So he may I think he's not building any more though. He's not producing any more Mutalisks. So it could be exactly the same as last time. Just a bit of harassment, a bit of economical damage to these aliens. There we go. Very useful. Very useful indeed. But Cube has got it covered this time. He didn't do last time, but he's got a lot of missile turrets up this time. A hell of a lot actually. So again, either Ignorance is tricking Cube into putting down lots of missile turrets, or he is in fact just going Mutalisk. By the looks of it, he's not producing any more, so I'm going to assume that he's just forcing him into, building a lot of missile turrets over here, which is exactly what Cube has fallen into the trap of doing. So we've got 2 over here, 3. That's a lot of minerals when you think about it. But Mutalisk for Zerg are just incredible map controllers. They're really fast, as you can see, and they just grab. They know exactly where they're going. They can go wherever they want to go. And they know that, with a couple of Mutalisks, the Zerg player can know exactly what Cube is doing. And by the looks of it, he's going very macro heavy from this bar over here. That is a huge number of things he's producing, very macro heavy, from both players in fact. Coming out with the 1 Thor again, which is unusual, just the 1. And by the looks of it, he's coming out with a push here. He's going for a couple more medivacs this time, 4 medivacs in total. Scanning the top here to see if there's anything blocking his path. But yes, he only came out with 2 medivacs last time. However, Ignorance is coming out with the banelings, and these Mutalisks could cause some trouble on the way here. Trying to take out this creep, as it is very predominant and very imposing on his base this time. As he's sending up his units, however, Ignorance is going to harass with these Mutalisks and may be able to dominate these missile turrets, possibly, but we'll see how that transgresses. Here we go, here's a big engagement. Lots of banelings here, really taking out units. He needs to spread out his marines here. He really needs to spread them out, but no, he has not spread them out. Those banelings have just completely destroyed everything he had. Really doing a lot of damage here. That was incredible. He needed to spread out his marines. He needed to spread them out completely. Otherwise that would have just happened. So his entire army now has been completely devastated. He's saved his medivacs. Those should have been picked off by those Mutalisks, in my opinion. He's got 16 Mutalisks now, so he has pumped out a few more. But it's not looking good for Cube. He's got a very small army here. Not a lot at all. So Ignorance, as a result, is going to move forward and try and do some harassment and attack. Huge number of Zerglings here. Going to do a lot of damage. 1 tank to defend, that's all he has. These missile turrets aren't going to do anything against these Zerglings. There's a huge number of Zerglings as well, stimming up his marines, definitely trying to siege up his tanks as well, to try and deal with this huge Zergling push. But it's not looking good. There's a massive amount of Zerglings. These could drop this expansion easily. Looks like he's taking out most of those SCVs, and he's retreating as a result. Big engagement there, massive economical damage. Let's have a quick look at the work supply. It's 83, wow, that's incredible. So Ignorance has got 83, Cube has got only 52 SCVs, so quite behind rather, on economical production, let's say. However, he is moving his third? Yes, he's moving his 3rd over here, which is unusual, so he wants to gain the centre of the map. He wants to have this control over the centre of the map, so we can see exactly what's going on. A couple of Mutalisks having a quick mooch around here, see what's going on. His 1, 2, 3, 4th expansion coming over here as well, trying to get this saturated very close to Cube's base. Could be very risky. Coming in another engagement here with these banelings. He really needs to split up his forces. He has done. He's split up these marines quite well, but unfortunately those banelings has grabbed a couple of kills there. But he's done very well. A couple of infestors as well. Drop a fungal growth on those, and that's it. That's the end of those guys. Lots of medivacs though. We've come out with 6 medivacs. Those could be really, really helpful. Look how fast those are being healed out. That's incredible. So this tiny push from Cube could cause a bit of annoyance with Ignorance. We've got that 1 Thor as well, which will deal with Mutalisks, but dropping a fungal growth on this huge bunch. He needs to spread them out. 1 fungal growth on that lot, and that could be really devastating. Unfortunately for Ignorance, he's got no energy to do that. So this force is going to continue to harass, but unfortunately that overpowering amount of Zerglings has taken out a lot of Cube's forces. So yes, he's trying desperately to push upon Ignorance's base. I think personally he should come down. He needs to do more scouting. I've noticed Cube needs to do more scouting. Scout these two bases. They're not, you know, they're quite under-defended. I mean, there's 4 spine crawlers here. There's nothing over here. There's nothing over here either. He should push on those bases. He shouldn't just push on these. But Ignorance has learnt from the previous game and started to come up with banelings, which are just doing absolute huge amounts of damage, and these ultralisks as well. At the moment he's got more supply than Cube, 149 at the moment. Nevertheless, Cube is again coming out with these upgrades. He's coming out with a level 3 weapons upgrade for his siege tanks, and level 3 for his level 3 armor for his infantry. Still throwing out units though. Cube is throwing out his marines, trying to keep on the pressure essentially. Lots of minerals there. You could use those to manufacture more marines. But yeah, Cube is just throwing out these units to ensure that he's keeping on the pressure, so this base remains completely secure. However, Ignorance looks like he's coming out with a big push now, churning out a lot of banelings, 16 banelings in total. Lots of zerglings, huge amount of zerglings, 2 ultralisks and 4 infestors. This could be quite a devastating push here, especially on this centre base here. I'm not even sure that the Ignorance is aware of this yet. Yes, he is aware of it. So he does know it's there. Pumping out more banelings now. This could be horrible. This could be absolutely devastating. Lots of banelings here now. Huge numbers of banelings, and as we all know, huge numbers of banelings are just evil. They're worse than siege tanks. They're really just absolutely detrimental. And here we go, here's the big push. Those banelings could do a huge amount of damage to this command centre. They're just rolling in. Nothing's going to stop them now. Look at that, just completely destroying the SCVs, completely taking out this small number of forces, dropping a fungal growth as well. What an incredible push. These guys could, these infested could probably drop another fungal growth if they wanted to, and they just have done. And this is what is left of Cube's army. He's got 99 supply, stimming up these guys, these marines, to try and tackle these infestors as they walk away from battle. Dropping another fungal growth. Wow, fantastic! How cool was that? Just before you go, I'll drop you a fungal growth. Here you go. There you go. Take that. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. That's brilliant. Great play from Ignorance there. Took out this expansion, took out a lot of SCVs, took out did a lot of economical damage, putting him on putting Cube on the back foot. As a result, lots of speedlings. Are they speedlings? Yes, they are speedlings. Lots of speedlings here. Probably going to go baneling again, but these marines have caught onto it and may take these chasing after these zerglings, but again they're going to invade this base as they did before, take out these SCVs, split in 3 directions, one to tackle these marines to keep them occupied, another to take out the SCVs here, and another batch to take out the SCVs in the natural expansion. What brilliant play. They could have even sent off a couple over here as well. That would have been fantastic, and as a result really damaging Cube's economy rather. It's just incredible play. That was brilliant. Sending out those zerglings. They're so cheap. They're really effective. They're really fast. Some may say overpowered. I wouldn't say that, but I think they're really just an all-round great unit. They're fantastic. They're brilliant. Pumping out a lot more banelings as well. Cube's coming out with lots of marines. Ignorance has really caught on to the first game and said, right, okay, he's going to go for this again because it worked. As a result, I need to counteract this with banelings and amongst other things. The siege tank spotting these guys, coming around the back with the banelings, coming around the front and the side with the banelings as well. Oh wow, completely taking out everything that Cube has now with these banelings, stimming them up, and these corruptors as well, taking out the medivacs. Wow, that was fantastic. Pumping down more and more marines, rallying them down here. I think that's just a bad rally point, and by the looks of things, Ignorance is going to take out this base for a second time. He could do that if he wanted to. Excuse me. That planetary fortress, though, could prevent him from doing that. Coming up with 5 broodlords now. We got 6 infestors as well. Very interesting play from these guys. I mean, both of them have adopted 3 units with which they've worked with. So Ignorance has gone for Infestor, Zergling, Baneling, Broodlord, pretty much. And Cube has gone Medevac, Ghost, Marine, Tank. That's about all they've predominantly used. And they've just worked with those units. They haven't really... they've upgraded them, but they haven't transgressed into anything else different. These Broodlords being sniped down by these ghosts. That was incredible. Sniper skills there. We got down 2 Broodlords there with those relentless sniping. But this is a great position for these Broodlords to be in, sending out those little evil little broodlings to attack the SCVs here with the planetary fortress. And unfortunately, there's nothing they can do about it without these Marines and these ghosts. But the Broodlords are so slow. Taking out another one there. But I think that was definitely worth it. They took out a huge number of SCVs and mules there. And at all times, Ignorance is building up his army here. His army of Banelings, huge number of Banelings. Now Cube has just turned himself into his base, but those Banelings are just going to march through and completely devastate Cube for the 4th or 5th time. And there we go, there's the GG. Cube has had enough. Great play from these 2 players today. Ignorance using his Broodlords very well this time. He caught on to the first game very well. He as a result, he knew exactly what Cube was doing this game. He was turtling in and then moving out with just Marines and tanks, and as a result came out with some Broodlords to occupy him. He's basically occupied him the whole game with little pushes, taking out this expansion for the... This will be the 2nd time this expansion has been dropped. Really occupying him. Cube doing as much as he can with these ghosts, really trying to hack away at these Broodlords. But unfortunately, Ignorance had occupied him so much that he'd built up a huge amount of Banelings and Infestors and Zerglings, and as a result, really just took away Cube's army completely. At this point, this would be the 2nd time that this has happened to Cube, and as a result, he was had enough, and he said GG. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please stay tuned for game number 3. As always, my name is Pulse. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please comment and subscribe. Any feedback that you guys give me would be really appreciated. So yeah, please comment and subscribe. Thanks very much for watching.